we are going to make a pamphlet book. And a pamphlet book is the beginning stages of some really cool bookmaking. We have an outer piece, the inner pages that came with your kit, cut just a little bit smaller, and then thread. I'll show you how to thread that. And then we've got our marbling paper that we used with our Suminagashi marbling kit that we sell. So you can make your own artwork. All right, with your kit, you see all of the supplies that you received. So right now we're gonna start with we'll do the larger book first. We're gonna fold this in half and use your little stick. Of course, there are very nice, more expensive tools, but this works great, as you can tell. So until you can afford to buy your supplies, or if you just prefer to use recycled and things around the house like me, you can do that. Now take a couple of your pages, fold those. You don't want to do all of them at once because it gets a little, they layer kind of funny. So another good benefit of the stick is that you don't get your fingers on everything, right? All right, so I'm using all white. Your kit may have all white, it may have colors. We just put anything in the kit that we have laying around, but feel free to find other pieces of paper that you have laying around. That's the fun of it. So now lay these inside of your book. You're gonna fold them in the crease. Your paper should be a little bit shorter than the cover, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Now use your clip that's in your kit, or use a paper clip, because you want to hold your book still so that when you poke your holes, you're consistent with your holes and you don't have to back step. Okay, you've got a ruler with your kit. You don't have to be precise. I kind of like doing the 3-hole. You can get more complicated later. You can do 3, 5, 7. There's so many different ways you can do that. But this is about a little over 5.5 inches. So I'm gonna go in the middle. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be a very big dot. And I'm gonna go 1 inch from each side, each edge. Now I'm just gonna gently poke a hole. Doesn't have to be big. You just want something to guide your needle so that you have a consistent hole so that your book ends up being aligned nicely. All right, now you've got a needle with your kit. You also have a recycled work paper and a knife. Even though everything is pre-cut for the kit, you're definitely going to want to cut more things from magazines and maps and different recycled materials. So we went ahead and included this in your kit. We also included thread. This embroidery thread comes in 6 strands, but you just want to pull those apart so you have 3. 3 is plenty, and then you have twice as much thread. So your kit comes with 3 different colors. All right, I have threaded my needle. You don't need to make a knot, and you don't need to wax these. Traditionally, these are wax thread, but if you want to do that, you can just run it through some beeswax, just run it across a candle or something. But this is enough, and this is what I like. I just like that organic feel. So you can start, you're gonna start in the middle. You can start in the inside of your book, and that'll be where your strings hang. So if you wanna have the decoration be in the inside, I prefer mine to be on the outside, at least for this one. So I'm gonna start in the middle and go through all 3 layers. Okay, I need to kind of take a peek here just to make sure. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna come through, pull it through, just leave a couple, 2 or 3 inches here. You don't need to tie a knot, that's where we're gonna end up. All right, let's go through this side, nice. And these books have been around forever, this type of bookmaking. I'm gonna show you a quick second method. So you're gonna go from here to here, go back into the middle. Now this creates this really pretty little border there. Now you're going to go through the hole you started with. Try not to catch the middle of your threads that are already there. Just be aware. All right, now we're going to cut this right there. Okay, there you go. Now, I'm going to tie a knot here. Just a simple little knot just to keep it in place. But you can do some, you can tie any kind of knot you want. You can start playing around with starting and ending your books in different patterns. We'll give you some examples of that. Take your clip off. Now you've got a pamphlet book. This is a really simple handmade book that you can make out of anything you have laying around the house. All right, now let's add some artwork. I added artwork, and you've got marbling paper in your kit. Just cut it to any design, and you can put it on the front of your book. You can put it on the back of your book. You can use different sections and recycled paper to decorate your pages. Now I want to show you another step here. Let's take it a step further. You understand how to do this book now, and let me just show you an example of how you could make a more complicated book. All right, I'm going to fold my pages in half. I'm going to do my little mini book this time. Okay, I've got 3 pages there. This is called a signature, when you do a little sections that are going to be a bigger part of a book. That is what these are called, signatures. Okay, we've got 2 books. We used one of these signatures to make that book, but this time we're going to make 2. All right. So I'm going to do the same thing. I think on this one I'm going to go ahead and put them all together to poke my holes, because I want the lines to be the same for this design. I'll go ahead and put my clip in. All right, 6 centimeters, so that's easy. Take my little pin. I'm gonna poke a hole in the middle to guide, and I think I'll do 1 centimeter in on each side. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. I'm going to poke my hole here. I should probably get my... Okay, these are our pages. We're putting small holes. They don't have to be big. You can use your work paper your recycled cardboard to poke your holes as well. They make, fancy padding for your work, but I usually have cardboard and it works pretty well for me. All right, so you have your 2 sections, your 2 signature sections with the holes already poked. And now we need to figure out how we're going to incorporate our cover. There's so many different ways you can do this. I'm going to actually string both of them into the covers. You definitely need to do that. Poke your holes. There we go. Okay, I'm going to start from the back. Go in. Leave some space. Leave a little tail. Okay, we're in downtown Laramie where we've got a hustle and bustle going on outside. But I'm excited to show you guys more about the studio and also the greenhouse that we have. All right, so we've got one section in. That is just a book like we have already done. But let's do another section. We want more pages and we want it to be a bigger book. Doesn't have to be perfect, but kind of align your pages inside. Make sure you get your middle page. I'm going to put my clip in because I know it's set now. Pretty close. Seems like it's off just a little. There we go. All right, I'm going to poke holes again. It's going to be right next to the other one. I'm going to actually scoot this over just a little bit. There's a lot you can do with this design. You could make it look like a hardbound cover, and I've done that. I'll show you some of my design. All right, let's start at the outside. I see my hole right next to the other one. Don't want them too close. There we go. And I could have started with a different hole and played around with a different design. But let's just do it this way for now. There we go. Actually, you know what? I think I'm kind of using the same holes. That's a good idea. Whoops. Where'd it go? There it is. It's kind of like okay, we've got our first section and our second section. Come back through here. Try not to get that in there. There we go. Sometimes your needle wants to come up through another section, through another thread. Makes it kind of. Okay, these don't have to be perfect. They can all be different lengths. Okay, you'll tie a knot on that. Okay, so look, you have increased your number of pages and made a really interesting book. All right, there you go.